Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to show you guys this game called Xanadu next. This is one of those games that just surprised the heck out of me. Let me just show you this game. It doesn't, granted, it doesn't look all that great. But this is not where the game shines, right? The game is actually like super cool. You can, for example, one of the things that surprised me, it's a game similar to in style to Diablo and things like that. As a matter of fact, it has a bit of a Dark Soul thingy as well too. The map is crazy. For example, it's all interconnected. Like, for example, the town, the dungeons, most of them connect to the town, and everything is connected to everything almost, which is incredible map design. So, for example, like this map right here, so you can see, this is the first area, and so, for example, like you'll find like all your low-level enemies here, but eventually you do get to a dungeon. So for example, like right here, there's a dungeon. Let's see, right here. Yeah, and right here is your first boss. So this dungeon right here, it connects to so many places. So for example, like you'll go down, and like actually my favorite things about the games about this game is the mechanics that the weapons have. I'll show you like right here in a second. Oh, nice, the potion. So every enemy drops something specific. Most of them will drop pretty poopy stuff, but then eventually you do get a weapon or a piece of armor. Most weapons have a skill attached to them. At least all of them so far have a skill. That's exactly how it is. But for example, like my axe has a skill called Berserk, and then here in this menu you'll get all your skills, right? So for example, I want to show you something. So I'll remove the weapon, which has the skill Berserk, and the skill Berserk is this one right here. So for example, you'll see that I can drag it right here, and what this skill does is it increases attack power, but it lowers my defense. So for example, like I'm not actually sure how much that is. Let me see. Actually, that doesn't really show me how much. Whatever. The thing is, as you notice, like I don't have the weapon equipped, but I still have the skill right here. Thing is, there's a proficiency thing right there, and it's at 200%. So once you reach 100%, you'll basically get the skill forever in your skill list, and you basically get to use that skill. So for example, this is a passive skill, but there's active skills as well. But you get to use that skill even if that's not the weapon that has that skill. And that's actually something really cool, because like it makes you sort of like get good with certain weapons. Just use them over and over again, just so you can like learn their respective skill. And that's a mechanic that I've seen in other games, in other series of games too. But it actually works super well with this game. You also have attributes. So for example, every time you level up, you get 6 points, and you get to put it wherever you want, basically: strength, intelligence, reflex, constitution, and mind. And these stats, they not only affect the character, but they also affect which weapons you can equip. So for example, like my armor requires 15 strength, 16 intelligence, blah 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 blah, right? But yeah, and also like as you notice, like with the weapons, the proficiency with them, it gets all the way to 200%. And so if you want to maximize the damage they do, you basically want to get that to 200%. So that's so cool, right? Like and so yeah, what I wanted to show you guys is actually how cool the map is. So for example, I want to show you right here, up here, Let me just kill these bitches. There you go. Okay, so oh, and also like something pretty cool that, you know, with these graphics that the game has, I was actually not expecting certain details that the game has. So for example, like one of them would be like, if I remove the shield, I don't have a shield, right? That's fair enough, right? But like if you change, like say for example, like I just remove the armor, that changes my appearance, right? If I change my helmet, for example, here I have no helmet, and sure, that doesn't look all that great, but like, see, like if you change your helmet, it looks different. And this is actually something that games of this era around here, like they actually didn't do that before. You know, like we had one look, and that was all we got, right? And so this is actually super impressive. Maybe it's just because my expectations for this game were like extremely low. You know what I mean? Like I actually had this game sitting on Steam for like, I don't know, maybe like 3, 4, 5 months, and I forgot why I bought it, and I had it right there just sitting there. And you know, the other day I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try, right? And so I gave it a try, and I just couldn't stop playing it because it's so good, right? It's super addictive. So this is what I wanted to show you. There's a treasure chest right there, but I already opened it. And so once you open the treasure chest and you get what's important in them, like for example, let's say there's something, a key item or something, then they'll refill back up, but they'll only give you gold afterwards. So let's not pay attention to that. What I want to show you is that you see that there's like sparkles right here. So if I jump, like if I try to walk there, I'll fall and I'll end up where the treasure chest is. But eventually you'll come across key items, like for example these spectacles, or like the moonstone, or the fire crystal, or like the gauntlet, or the ruby. And basically these key items, they'll change the way you interact with the environment. So for example, if I equip this, now I see everything different. But as you notice, I can actually walk here. See? Isn't that cool? And so, for example, the ruby will let me like push boxes. And this actually, the cool thing about this stuff is that once you've gotten the item, you want to go back and re-explore most of the areas that you've been through, because there's probably something that needs to be interacted with that needs one of these items, but you didn't have it the first time that you went through it. So I think that's super cool, you know? For example, like these panels right here, you'll only, like these panels, they're all over the place. But unless you have the fire crystal, you can't really activate them, and so you can't really use them. But they're actually super useful because you get to choose where to teleport to. They're basically a free teleporter, and that sort of changes, you know, the game. So see, for example, here again, there's a bridge, but if I remove it, see, I fall through it. You see? So it's actually like super cool, because like this area, for example, like you'll come to this area like super early in the game, and I noticed that there was sparkles, but I was like, man, what the hell? Like what can I do there? You know, and I didn't know that there was these sort of magical items and things like that. So yeah, and then another thing that the game has is these cards right here. For example, the flugel. This card will increase the experience that I earn. You know, but there's all sorts of cards. Like some of them will give you more SP. So for example, SP, what it does is it lets you use magic. See, that's freaking cool, right? And what I like about this game too is that, for example, like you, most of the times, like you don't really have to pick between a warrior and a mage. Like you can be both if you want to, you know, like you can just do both things at the same time, you know. But for example, this area is actually around my level, you know. So let's see, there you go. But you see, like, for example, like I was doing almost the same damage with my hits than with the magic. And so, you know, that's one of those things, you know, like it's just freaking cool. You know? But yeah, like if you actually like this game, do let me know, and I'll make more videos on it. I tried to just show you basically like the cool things that the game has, but I'm trying. I'm gonna try not to make a very long video on it. You know? There you go. But yeah, like for example, like let me show you like sort of like how the map is connected, like I was saying before. So remember this, like we could use this teleportal, of course, now. But like if you couldn't use the teleportal, like for example, like the way that you get to the village is like even if you don't have the spectacles, like what you do is you go back, for example, right here. Oh, see, something's attacking me. I can't see it because I'm using the spectacles. So that's actually something that like you're gonna be switching on and off most of the times. But yeah, here you go. There you go, bam. Oh, look at that, we got a sword, I think, right? Yeah, we did. So look at this. This is a two-handed sword. See? And so this sword, for example, has a skill called Clear Mind. I think it increases intelligence. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you can make all kinds of cool builds, you know? So for example, like right here, this gate, you need the fire spell, like you need fire magic in order to activate these two altars right here, and this opens the door. And so for example, like once you open this door, I'm not sure if you recognize this area. Oh, look at that. The cards level up also. Every time the cards level up, their effect increases. And so for example, I was getting more experience, now I'm getting a little more, and so on and so forth. But look at this. You recognize this area? That's it. We're back in town. And so like I went all around, right? And I got into the dungeon and all that stuff. Like I went underground and everything, and I just came back to the town from another place. And so for example, like right here, you'll be able to eventually to open this gate, and this gate you require this gauntlet. So with the gauntlet, you're able to break stuff that is kind of brittle but you couldn't break before. So for example, like you come here and you just smack the place, and then once you go in, look, you're back at this place, but you enter from another area, you know? Here there's more of those altars that you need fire in order to get it. And so at the beginning you won't have like magic, you don't have good equipment, you don't have anything, you know? And so it's so cool like how you basically like start to unlock stuff. And it reminds me like seriously like games like Diablo and things like that, but it's like a lot more intricate, you know what I mean? Let me show you, like for example, like this skill. This skill is called Jolting Blade. You see? So basically I just added lightning to my weapon. So look how cool it looks, right? For being a crappy old musty game. Look at this. Like I just destroyed them. Isn't it cool? But yeah guys, like if you like it, give me a like. If you want to see more of this game, if you're interested, I actually didn't finish the main story, but I mean, let me know. I might make some more videos on it. So until next time, you guys, take care.